Hello, my name is Stephen Kessler. I'm the author of the best-selling book, The 5 Personality Patterns. And I want to tell you that there is a path out of your suffering. Now, it's not a path out of every single bit of your suffering, but it does help you get out of most of it. And it doesn't require that you become enlightened. It's not nearly that difficult. It is a much easier than that path and much more effective in my experience, and I've been doing inner work for 40 years now. Much easier path than the meditation path in ending your suffering. So the problem that we're solving here started out when you were a child. And during childhood, naturally, there were times when you felt hurt, you felt scared, and during those moments, naturally, you began looking for strategies that would make you feel safer. Things to do to feel less upset, less overwhelmed, and safer. Gradually, you found some of those strategies. And as you found ones that worked, you began doing them more and more. Those strategies became habits. And then gradually those habits became automatic, unconscious patterns of behavior, patterns of feeling, patterns of thinking that you learned to go into, that your body was conditioned to go into whenever you feel like you're in distress. Now, they've helped. They were the best you could do in childhood. So far, so good. But the problem is, now they run your life. Now they happen automatically. They control how you think, how you feel, how you behave, how you respond to distress or any feeling of overwhelm or even any kind of challenge. And they basically run your life. They control where your attention goes and doesn't go. And so, in a very real way, you don't have control of your life, and those patterns are what is creating most of the suffering in your life now. The good news is you can learn how to get out of those patterns. You can regain control of your life. You can free up your attention from being stuck, and you can free yourself from most of that suffering, which is happening every day in your life right now. Now, to free yourself, you need to do 3 things. First, you have to understand these 5 safety strategies. And you need to discover which ones you go into automatically when you feel distressed. Secondly, you have to learn how to shift yourself out of pattern when you're in pattern, how to shift yourself out of pattern back to being present. Back to being calm, centered, present. You have to learn how to do that shift, and you have to practice it until you can do it even when you're in distress. That takes practice, but it's not rocket science. You can do it. And the third thing you have to do is, in the long run, you need to heal the core wounds that caused you to adopt these particular safety strategies in the first place. Because having those core wounds still lodged in your body, having that old trauma still stuck in your body, is what is fueling the compulsion that causes you to automatically shift into those patterns even now. So the more those old traumas can be healed, the less compulsion you'll feel to adopt those strategies now when you feel a little bit upset. So it's possible for you to make these shifts. It's possible for you to learn these things, develop these practices, acquire these skills, heal these wounds, and shed most of the suffering that's happening in your life right now. I know this because it's actually happened for me in my life. And believe me, my life is a lot better than it was 10 years or 20 years ago when I first began studying this. You don't have to do it alone. There is help for you. Fortunately, there is this book that I wrote, The 5 Personality Patterns, which gives you very detailed descriptions of what patterns are, how they develop, what each of these 5 patterns are, how to tell when you're in each of these patterns, how to shift yourself out of each of these patterns, and what sort of healing you need for each pattern if that's one that you do. We each tend to do 2 of these 5 patterns. There's one that we go into usually when we're first upset, and if that one's not handling the situation, we then shift into our second pattern. So in this book, there's a tremendous amount of information that you can use to understand this and to begin working on this path, moving on this path yourself. More immediately, there is a website you can go to where there's information on these patterns and on the book and how to get the book. And that website, of course, is called www.the5personalitypatterns.com. THE5, number 5, personalitypatterns.com. So thanks for watching this. I invite you to visit the website. I invite you to take a look at the book on the website, on Amazon. You'll discover over 45 5-star reviews. It's getting very good reviews. It's been very well received, and in fact has become a bestseller. And I want you to have an opportunity to learn about this too. So thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.